Hi. Welp. I'm back. Time to torture myself again for your entertainment and only your entertainment. In the last video, I reviewed about 11 chapters of Alex's fanfic, and I hated every second of it. I've gotten a lot of comments from people asking me if I'm alright or if my sanity is fine, but don't worry, I'm actually fine. I don't need a therapy session just yet. There are multiple things wrong with this fanfiction, but I can sum it up with him pretty much degrading women characters and making them sex meat for his fucking fantasies. And you will see that in this fucking video. You'll see more than that. But without further ado, and without me delaying my torture, let's get on with Chapter 12. Chapter 12 is called Time Marches On, and we immediately start off by being introduced to a nameless man in a clock tower. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. But after this, we meet the normal crew arriving at the clock tower. Turns out they're looking for a man with a golden eye, and I don't know why. Like, I know it's been a while since I've read this fanfiction, but I don't really understand why they went to the clock tower. I don't know. It wasn't established why they needed to find him, but whatever. Anyways, they find the whereabouts of the man they're searching for, but instead of discussing their next course of action, they instead discuss about what happened the night before, i.e. Siegfried and fucking Ivy cucking Tira. He then delivers this line, and I am stumped at how stupid Siegfried/Alex is. What do you mean you regretted it? Weren't you the one that was all up in Ivy's fucking cooch? You could have said, I'm sorry, Ivy, I don't want to do this. Why am I British all of a sudden? I guess it's because I think Siegfried is supposed to be British. No, wait, he's actually German. I'm not entirely sure about that. Do not quote me on that. But instead, Siegfried just gave in and had sex. Anyways, just as Ivy was about to open the door for them to go in, Siegfried told her to stop and he would go in alone. Why would you go in alone? I thought you were going in together. Tira and Ivy just straight up tell him that he's too important to go in alone, and instead Siegfried's like, lol, nah, you're just trying to turn us against each other, and just fucks off alone. Like, how dumb is Siegfried? He enters the clock tower, and we are greeted with the useless exposition up the fucking wazoo. Like, you can skip all of this. It does not fucking matter. Siegfried then meets the man with the golden eye, who turns out to be... Hold on, I have to read his name again. Sazalamel. There we fucking go. Another character from Soul Calibur, who just fights him out of nowhere. No other reason as to why he fights him. But you know what that means? More useless fight sequences. Siegfried attempts to fight this dude and gets backup from Tira. So I guess going alone was a bad idea, huh, Siggy? After the trio fights Salad Sauce, he then draws a circle in the air, curses Siegfried, and just disappears. I shit you not, that is how it is actually written. Why did they fight him? He legit said nothing of value and just fucked off. Anyways, after Siegfried just so happened to know where their next destination is, which is in the Mediterranean Sea, by the way. Okay, Siegfried, but where? I don't know if you know this, Alex. The Mediterranean Sea is pretty fucking big. But anyways, that's the end of Chapter 12. Wow, off to a frolicking good start. Next chapter. Chapter 13 is called Blind Loyalty and starts off with a direct quote from Soul Calibur lore. I guess Alex was just lazy that day and used copy-paste a ton. Anyways, he starts to talk about Europe entering the era of trade and colonization. Don't know why the fuck he talks about that. This is where Alex talks about another character from Soul Calibur called Verci. My pronunciation of the Italian name is good. If you do this, you can do the Italian accent with nobody complaining. Hey, I'm walking. But then Alex writes useless info for him, burying treasure some fucking where so he can find it later. Don't worry. Verci eventually dies off screen. I am not joking. He just dies trying to get back to Italy. Fuck. I just reread what I just fucking said. God damn it, this shit is fucked. After that, we meet Valdo, another character from Soul Calibur. Apparently, Valdo and Verci were close because Verci told Valdo to protect his treasure. So we get introduced to this character, and all we know about them is that they're guarding some treasure. Fucking great. After this diary on a paragraph, we just J-cut to fucking Tira and the others. How? The plot is everywhere! As Tira awoke, she felt a wave of pain wash over her body. Ow! What happened? She looked around where she was. She seemed to be in a cave, where a few torches lining the walls allowed her to see. She was lying down on something. But what was it? She got up, turned around, and looked down at a pile of corpses. Tira gave a small yelp and leaped backwards. She had seen her fair share of corpses, but the thought of lying on a whole pile of them and not knowing it thoroughly creeped her out. How? Tira's like a fucking lunatic killer who fucking wants a master and be a slave. Why does a pile of body freak her out? Apparently, Tira volunteered to go ahead of Ivy and Siegfried to look for traps, which contraindicates what Tira wanted. Tira wanted to protect Siegfried and keep him away from Ivy, but I guess she just forgot about it. And that's perfectly fine. Hey, I'm gonna go up ahead, search up for traps. You guys stay here. You guys could cuck me a second time if you want. I got no alcohol. Fuck. Anyways, Tira fell down a trap hole that was disguised as a money pit. This is some fucking Team Rocket shit I'm reading right here. Someone comes towards Tira in the hole, and it turns out to be a dude with very pale skin. He slithered his entire body as he moved forward and seemed to move like a snake more than a human. This guy's a human, and he's kinning as his fucking persona. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant scaly. I have to get it right or else I'll get in trouble. After Tira talks to the dude, we get more useless fight scenes. This time with the dude having a slithering fighting style, whatever the fuck that means. As the man hopped towards her, she leaped forward, held her ring blade perpendicular to the ground, and swung it downward in an arc. How? It's a ring, not a sword! How is it fucking perpendicular? Oh, my mic. Tira shoved her ring blade forward, the flat part of the blade blocking the man's arms and legs and pinning him down in the corner. The two of them struggled until the man seemed to stop. But he had just one last weapon left in his arsenal. He delivered an extremely strong pelvic thrust that went through the gap of Tira's ring blade and jabbed her in the stomach. Tira was knocked back out of both the force of the blow and the nature of it, but not enough to allow the man to break free. He continued his pelvic attack, slamming the crotch guard into Tira's stomach. Only my master is allowed to do that to me. God damn it, dude. Quips at the fucking start, at the fucking middle of the battle. What is this, a fucking Marvel movie? Tira backed up and panted and heaved heavily, holding the wound at her stomach. Are you going to finish me? No. Why not? I'm forbidden to kill. Your master's orders? Not directly, but I know it would displease him if I killed. The man nodded. I see. You're a good slave. This man just crotch stabbed you in the fucking stomach. What do you mean you're not going to fucking kill him? Oh, my mic. Anyways, Tira doesn't kill the guy for some fucking reason, and then we star wipe transition to Ivy and Siegfried. Siegfried then has this 500 IQ idea to go to a Greek god of blacksmith to, and I quote, create a weapon stronger than Soul Edge. What is the point of being here if he just so happened to come up with a better idea out of fucking nowhere? He just knows of a temple in fucking Greek belonging to a Greek god of blacksmith, and it just baffles my mind that he didn't go there first. But how in the world are we supposed to do that? And what does that have to do with gods? I know of a temple don't know that name, the Greek god of blacksmithing, weaponry, and fire. Perhaps it could be possible to ask him to forge us a weapon which would destroy Soul Edge. A weapon to forge from the gods themselves could surely destroy that cursed blade. What makes you think the god will listen to you? Well, what makes you think that this god even exists? If there is a chance, even a slight one, that we could obtain a weapon stronger than Soul Edge this way, we have to try. I don't know. Why did you come here? There's no reason for you to be at this clock tower. Like, legit. Woo! Woo! I'm gonna write that in my handy dandy notebook. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna write down the fucking amount of stupidity in this fucking fanfic. But that is the end of chapter 13. Wow. Chapter 14 is called Advent of Vow, whatever the fuck that means. None of these chapter titles means nothing the further we go in, by the way. So chapter 14 starts off with us meeting this woman sitting on a set of steps, all cold, waiting for something. Waiting for something to appear because something was damaging the inside of the temple for some odd reason. I don't know, man. We're in a temple somewhere, I guess. I don't know. Hey, she just waits there and suddenly hears a loud noise as if it was a pot dropping to the floor. Oh, but what was causing that pot to fall down? I don't know, man. She just stands up and takes a sword out of an altar. I don't know. I'm fucking lost. I tried reading this part like 4 times. I'm fucking lost, man. Anyways, we meet some hooligans that are trashing the statue some fucking where. He doesn't specify where or who these people are, but just introduces them. They meet a woman dressed in white and she tells them to leave. The hooligans don't leave and she fucks them up. Apparently one of the guys is named Actaeon, or I don't know how to pronounce that name. I have no idea who this is in Soul Calibur. I tried looking them up, but found nothing. So I guess it's Alex's OC Do Not Steal. If you know who this fucking character is, then tell me please. I've tried looking for them, but I can't find anything. Turns out the girl in white is Sophithia, a character in Soul Calibur. We get so much exposition for her, but it's all worthless because it tells us stuff from the game that we already know. She fights Cervantes, and I'm blown away at how worthless this fight feels, or this chapter overall. All you need to know is that Sophithia is also looking for Soul Edge. This entire chapter is useless. Like, I am not joking. It's like reading worded diarrhea. And that's the end of chapter 14. Holy fucking shit, it just keeps getting worse. Chapter 15 is called Fearless Eyes, and it starts off with a gang of Siegfried heading to Olympus and looking for the god of the forge, Hephaestus. Technically, Hephaestus is the god of fire before all, but he's also the god of blacksmith, so I'll give him that, because I don't fucking jack shit about fucking Greek mythology. I'll give Alex that one. I'll give him that point. Anyways, they make their way to Greek and approach what can only be a boss room. I'm not joking. It is literally described as a giant fucking room. A giant ass room with tons of breakable stuff in a lot of cover. Yeah. And you know what they find in the middle of the fucking boss room? Yeah, they found a woman standing before a shrine. Yeah, definitely not a boss. Siegfried, being the smooth brain that he is, decides to walk up to the lady and say hello, and definitely not being prepared for battle. Oops! Psych, motherfucker! She's gonna fight ya! Oh boy, more useless fucking fight scenes. My fucking favorite. The action definitely doesn't give me a headache. Siegfried fights her and wins. Wow, what a surprise! But the way he wins just makes me question why I'm not a writer. Like, I could write better shit than this crap. He tries to kill her, despite telling Ivy and Tira he didn't want them to fight, so to prevent bloodshed, but he had the intent to kill her, to actually fucking kill her, and he acts surprised that there is no fucking blood when he strikes her with the fucking blade. He also tries to wring her out, and she falls into the water, a la fucking Soul Calibur style. So I kinda like this part, you know? But oh wait, now that she's in the water, Siegfried can show off his amazing fucking muscles and rescue her. Despite wanting her dead, but we'll ignore that. Siegfried saved her, and she's thankful, but then falls unconscious almost immediately after saying that sentence. After that, we get this golden nugget of a dialogue between him and Tira, and it just cracks me up reading this, knowing that it's Alex instead of Siegfried. And that is the end of chapter 15. It was okay. Like, it was more bearable than the other chapters, so honestly, props to you, Alex. But that doesn't mean it's not any less painful. Chapter 16 is called Frustration and Relaxation, and it starts off with the gang trying to bring Sophithea's temperature back up. Ivy jokes about Siegfried wanting to massage Sophithea's chest, and I thought this was pretty funny, so I'll give him that. But then we get a scene of Siegfried taking off her clothes, and it's an actual thing to take off people's clothes once they fell into cold water, but Alex never told us that the water was cold. He just told us that she fell in water. And then he describes her chest while she's unconscious. He also gives us the excuse of, oh, my eyes just go wherever they want. He then dries her off. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. After this, he exits the room and talks to Tira about her being a bad slave, but Siegfried was all like, no, you're the best slave ever, I love you, mwah, mwah, mwah. Sophithia wakes up and they introduce themselves to her. She then tells them that she was testing them for Hephaestus. They talk and Ivy finally brings up the woman from chapters ago. Yeah, the fucking woman that fucking fought Ivy or helped her, I don't fucking remember. They finally bring it up. But we don't get her name still, and all we know is that she's apparently a character of some importance. Oh my god, fucking kill me. Anyways, another character gets introduced named Rothion, Sophithia's husband. Oops! Alex better chooses his words carefully the next chapter if Sophithia joins them, because I do not want this to turn into an NTR. Oh yeah, by the way, they also have kids. This is important for later, you know? This is important. Alex better fucking choose his words carefully, I swear to God. Apparently, Siegfried sees Sophithia completely different now because she's married, and he doesn't want to play with her anymore, a la fucking Toy Story meme. Tira's stomach growls, which means they sit down for dinner. They have a very weird conversation. They have a very weird and awkward conversation where Tira brings up the fact that she is Siegfried's slave. And you can guess how well that went. After dinner, they were all sleepy and called it a day. I find that a fitting end to this chapter. Obviously, this chapter had its ups and definitely its downs, but overall, hey, it's fine. Chapter 17 is called Kneel for a God Stands Before You, and starts off with the gang in front of the temple. They just cut to the temple with no story of them waking up whatsoever. The gang wants to see if Sophithia can summon Hepatitis B, so they can ask him to make a weapon powerful enough to destroy Soul Edge. But Sophithia doesn't know if she's able to do such a thing. I like how I like how Sophithia never tried summoning the dude before, but when the gang asks her if she's able to do it, she just magically does it with little to no effort. There's like no sense of pressure or build-up in this book, and it fucking drives me up a wall. After summoning Hephaestus, Alex then describes him as an ugly and wrinkly man, and then proceeds to just dunk on the dude for no reason. Like, it's just being mean to being mean, you know? damn, I know this guy's a fucking old, but you don't gotta call him ugly, man. He's got feelings too. He's an ugly old man. You don't gotta call him ugly. Except I just did, but it doesn't count. Anyways, after this, Hephaestus asks for Siegfried, and Siegfried delivers this very formal greeting and just tells him that he was Soul Edge. Like, just straight up just tells him, definitely worked out in the past with a bunch of other people. Anyways, Happy offered to destroy Soul Edge, but oops, turns out he can't break it. But who would have fucking thought? If he was able to break it, this fucking fanfiction would have been over, and my suffering would have been over too. But we gotta get the plot going. We gotta keep it going. Ha ha ha. As it turns out, the sword is immune to physical damage, which doesn't make any sense since it's a sword, but it's Soul Calibur. Anything's fucking possible in this fucking game. But oh wait, Happy tells them that he can actually forge a weapon to destroy Soul Edge, but it'll take 100 years, so fuck that. Hephaestus tells them that they'll have to separate the two swords in order to do damage. Which, I mean, sure, but why are we here if we knew we had to separate the swords from the beginning? Like, we knew that these were two swords. Why the fuck are we here? Like, I understand it's to get a god to destroy it, but if the plot is just gonna be like, oh, lol, no, this god can't destroy it, fuck that. Why the fuck are we here? Oh, Noble, they're just trying stuff. They don't know if that's gonna work or not. Yeah, but this is Alex we're talking about. Come on, man. Do you really think the plot's gonna be fucking good? This is where their journey gets caught on a snag because they don't really have another destination, so they just stay for a bit. Oh yeah! And Sophithia joins them. Okay, she joins the harem. Alright, that's cool. I forgot that happened. I actually really did. If I was her husband, I'd be sweating pretty fucking hard right now. But that's the end of that chapter. Chapter 18 is called The Allure of the Forbidden and starts off with Sophithia explaining to her family that she is joining Alex's harem party. To literally no one's surprise, Sophithia's husband Rothion was sad of her leaving with another man. She even gave up looking for him after he was visibly upset and just ran away somewhere. Man, Alex knows how to write them wives and husbands, you know? He knows how to write them. Also, she finds Rothion, her loving husband, who has no motives to cheat on her and has 2 kids. She caught him cheating. He just cheats on her. Like he had no reason to do so. Alex just wrote it in. Holy fuck. Like, we know jack shit about this guy. But I don't think this guy was actually going to cheat, but holy fuck. It turns out he cheated on her because everyone was mocking her, not him. They get into a fight, and honestly, it was kind of juicy. I'm not gonna fucking lie. That was juicy drama, but kind of came out of left field. Well, guess now Siegfried can bang that Sophithia pussy with no guilt. There's one really weird thing that happens in this chapter where she runs away after finding out that Rothion cheated on her. And she just runs away in like the rain, right? And finds like shelter. And she just starts thinking about this man that she just met like a few days ago. It's just like, wow, holy shit. Remember when I said this was going to turn into a fucking harem? Well, I was fucking right. I didn't expect it to be right, but fuck me, I guess. Sophithia runs to the inn after the whole argument with her husband and finds Siegfried only to kiss him immediately. Like they've known each other for a week tops. Not even a week, I think like a few days. And they be sucking on each other's tongues like it's a fucking lollipop. I just, God, stop giving me your toughest battles, please. She then tells him that she is not actually married to Rothion. Instead of telling him, they broke up and they just proceed to have sex. They just proceed to have this super detailed, super long sex scene. I am not fucking joking with you. It is like half of the fucking paragraph, half of the fucking chapter, maybe even more. And that is the end of the chapter. Siegfried's body count is 3 for 3 so far, and I feel both impressed and disgusted. Chapter 19 is called The Awakening of a Destiny and starts off with the backstory of some fucking temple somewhere else. I don't know, man. It was super fucking long and I didn't have anything of value to read except for a character called Killick who killed another character named Xiangling with his polearm. I don't know, man. It just gets confusing, and it's a fucking lot. I'm not joking. Whenever he introduces like a male character, you can just skip that chapter because it's just gonna be like copy paste from like the Soul Calibur like fan wiki or whatever the fuck. You can literally just copy paste, fucking skip this chapter. You could do it. Onwards to chapter 20. Woo! Chapter 20 is called No Stranger to Horror and starts off with Siegfried almost passing out and getting flashbacks to being Nightmare for some reason. I am not joking with you. He just has fucking flashbacks of him being Nightmare out of the blue. Wow. Want to know why this chapter is titled No Stranger to Horror? Because of this one sentence. I remember when I was reading this chapter and I came up to this chapter. And it came up to this chapter. I felt like Peter Griffin in that one clip. Like, he said it! He said the thing! Anyway, Siegfried has some trouble keeping up with himself and passes out. Ivy helps him up and Siegfried just becomes an asshole for no reason and calls Ivy a bitch and kinda attacks her. After that, he just turns back to normal and doesn't remember what happens. Turns out he starts becoming dizzy and having blurred vision after they fought salad sauce. There we go. The bad guy from a few chapters ago. Which is fucking weird because he has never had this happen to him before this point, yet acts like it has happened. Maybe off screen, but okay, I guess. After this, we get our next destination. India. So the gang heads to India in search of a way to purify the swords. Purify. Whatever the fucking hell that means. They head to India and travel to a place called the Proving Grounds. But oh wait, Siegfried is having another episode and attacks the gang. I don't understand why he's getting them more frequently now after he introduced them, and he even says that they happen very rarely, but fuck continuity, I guess. Siegfried is going berserk and slices up the bridge and destroys it. The bridge just so happens to be the only way that led to the exit or is an escape for the rest of the party. So they're essentially trapped with him. As Siegfried approaches them, a man that Alex describes as a handsome man, I'm not joking, stops them by literally shouting, "Stop." The man so far doesn't have a name, so I'm just going to call him like the Handsome Man. He's going to have a name in the next chapter, but for now, I'm just going to call him Handsome Man because I think that's a fucking funny meme. So Handsome Man offers that he can purify Siegfried and tells the ladies to escape by jumping into the water onto a raft. They do so and the chapter ends with a cliffhanger. Okay, I guess. Last chapter for this video. How long have I been recording for? Holy shit, 42 minutes. I'm gonna have so much problem editing this. Oh man, editing me is gonna hate this. Chapter 21 is called The New Legend. As it turns out, the handsome man is actually Killick from the previous chapter. He fights Siegfried in this super long and too detailed fight and manages to purify him. After he purifies him, he then tells him all about why he wanted to find Siegfried, and he also introduces himself to the rest of the gang. Turns out, Killick came to India to seek a master of purification so he can learn how to properly purify things better. And the gang just asks him if he can purify Soulhedge, after he literally just told them, "I'm here to learn how to properly purify things." He then attempts to purify Soulhedge, and fails miserably. Who could have seen that coming? Then he talks about his redemption because he killed Xianglang in a previous chapter, and also talks about the woman he loves known as Xianghua. This is going to be important, but remember this. Xianghua. I don't know how you pronounce that, please. If I have any Chinese audience, please don't hate me. Sophia then asks him if he loved her, and he hesitated and didn't really give a straight answer, so Sophia tells him to not join them, just straight up was like, fuck you, don't join our harem, go find her and be loyal to her. Because you're a man. Men are known to cheat. I don't know, man. It just gets so confusing. They say their goodbyes and that's the end. Wow. This just doesn't get bad. Like, it just gets confusing. Like, so far, I felt like I've read everything, like, top to bottom. I even read few chapters, like, back to back. I even read a few chapters, like, a couple of times so I can understand what the fuck's happening. And I'm still confused. I'm both impressed and disappointed that I am still confused after reading a book a few times. I guess this is what fucking... I guess this is all you can also describe as a university, am I right? But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. It's another super long video. I'm sorry if this one took a while to come out. I just had to sift through all the fucking diarrhea. And I'm also doing my internship right now, so everything's kind of fucking backed up. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please like, favorite, comment, and videos. I'll see you guys. Until then, don't be a stranger, and also don't read this terrible fanfiction because I want to save your brain cells. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you all so much for the support in the previous video. Holy shit, that's a fucking lot of views. I haven't checked it. By the time I probably checked it now, it's probably outdated, but holy shit, that's a lot of views. Wow. Thank you all so much. I'll be back for the other chapters. After that, we'll be halfway through, so I'm fucking thankful for that. But yeah, see ya. Bye.